Hello, welcome to Rogan's Network. So in this video, I will cover the CCNA topics as per the Cisco blueprint, but not exactly following the order which is provided by the Cisco, since I designed in a way that you can understand easily. So I will try to explain it in a very simple way with the examples. So Network Fundamentals 101. If you're new to the networking, I will say this is a building block and it is necessary to have a better understanding of what a network is. To the topic, what is a network? Two or more network devices connected together to share the resources. So, as it's simple as it looks, let me give you two types of real world examples. Whether you're watching this video from the YouTube or an employee trying to access the file from the branch office. So, from the home perspective, you are the client who is connected to the home router, which consists of switch, router, wireless device, and the firewall to access the video present in the YouTube server. From the enterprise perspective, so PC1 from the XYZ organization is trying to access a file from the FTP server present in the XYZ branch office. We will concentrate on this part, the enterprise perspective, because we will be working on these devices such as switch, layer 3 switch, routers, firewalls, and servers in the upcoming series. So, speaking about each and every networking devices has many jargons to understand. First one, the PC or the end host, which access the services provided by the server. The server will provide the service to the client. The switches provides the connectivity in the same LAN. So examples of layer 2 switches like Catalyst 4600s, 3600s, 6500s. The layer 3 devices which provides routing and switching capabilities. So examples of layer 3 switches, Nexus 5K, 7K, 9K, and the router, which provides the connectivity between the networks. Examples of a router, ASR 9K, firewall. A firewall is nothing but a security device which filters the incoming and outgoing traffic. Examples of a firewall, ASA firewall, which is adaptive security appliances, or firepower. Well, we connected them and saying it is a network, but does the networking devices even talk? Yes, like humans, they also talk to each other called protocols. The protocols are nothing but the set of rules must be followed to make this communication possible. So examples like Ethernet, IP, TCP, UDP, RDP, SSL, HTTP, and so on. It's not going to be efficient if I keep saying we will go and associate these devices, protocols, and also how they function in the 7-layer OSI model introduced by ISO and see what they can do for us. So first one is physical, data, network, transport, session, presentation, and application. So I remember as please do not throw the sausage pizza away. So this is what I learned when I was learning. So I just did the same thing here. So speaking about the physical medium, so the devices that it works in the physical medium are the cables, hubs, which is not used anymore, but it's good to know, the wireless devices, and the function of the physical medium is to convert the analog to digital. The second layer, data link layer, which the switches operates at the data layer, deals with the connectivity in LAN using the switches, learns the MAC address, detecting the CRC, whether the data that is received is having any issues or not, and also defines how the data is formatted for the transport layer. Next layer is network layer. The routers works at the network layer, providing the connectivity between the different networks. Um, Best example is IP as a protocol. The transport layer, the router itself, a good example for this one, which acts as a gateway. The protocols being used is TCP, UDP, which provides the end-to-end communication. It can be either connection oriented or connectionless oriented. The session layer. The session layer, the great example or the protocol which operates at this layer is RDP, which helps in establishing, manages, and terminates the connection. Say, for example, you might have used any disk in the real time. So that is a great example for the session layer. And the presentation layer, the best example could be the SSL itself, which translates of different formats that application layer can understand and also performs the encryption. So the examples would be TSL, SSL, especially when you use the web browser. And the last but not least, application layer. The web browser itself, a good example for this one. So it acts as the user interface, like the websites, HTTP, HTTPS. So those are the protocols which operates at application layer. A little bit digging deep into what they really deals with are bits and bytes, frames, packets, and the segments, and they are collectively known as the protocol data units. The PDUs are nothing but the data units that transmitted between the network entities. Say, for example, when one device wants to communicate with another device, it adds the header and trailer along with the bits, frames, packets, and the segments, encapsulates the data, and the whole process is called encapsulation. And the data is sent over the network, or in this case, through the physical medium. And when it reaches the other side, it de-encapsulates, meaning that it just removes the segmentation or the segments, packets, frames, and the bits, and eventually sending it to the other PC. So in contrast to the 7 layers of OSI model, we have another model introduced by Department of Defense, which is nothing but the TCP IP model, which has 4 layers or also in 5 layers. So it absolutely works similar and just a kind of version of their own. But in the real world, even in the interviews, you will be explaining using the 7 layers of OSI model. That's it for now. Stay tuned for the next video. Until then, bye from Rogan.